regular session of the Senate in the 19th Congress of the Philippines. It is hereby called to order.
The Senate has started the year on a high note, successfully passing several bills on third reading. These measures were Senate Bill number 2837, extending the corporate term of the Power Sector Assets and Liabilities Management Corporation, and House Bill number 10841, which seeks to establish a fixed term for the Philippine Coast Guard Commandant. Meanwhile, several measures are on track to be passed before the Senate takes a break next month. The bills passed on second reading were the E-Governance Act, which aims to modernize governmental operations and ensure the efficiency of institutions, the Philippine Agriculturists Act, which seeks to professionalize the agriculture industry in the country, the Special Defense Economic Zone Act, which seeks to establish a specialized economic zone that will cater to the local arms manufacturing industry, the Capital Market Efficiency Promotion Act, which aims to make the Philippine market more accessible to Filipinos and to reduce investment barriers, the Comprehensive Firearms and Ammunition Regulation Act, which proposes to extend the firearms amnesty for owners of unregistered firearms and holders of expired licenses, the Free Legal Assistance for Military and Uniformed Personnel Act, which seeks to protect the men and women in uniform from baseless harassment suits related to the performance of their official duties, and the measure renewing the franchise of the state-run Intercontinental Broadcasting Network. The Senate also approved on second reading a measure granting Philippine citizenship to Latuan and several local education bills. Senator Cynthia Villar pushed for the approval of Welfareville Property Disposition Act of 2025. The measure seeks to generate proceeds dedicated to programs that advance the welfare of children while ensuring its reasonable use by longtime occupants. Minority Leader Aquilino Coco Pimentel III sponsored Senate Bill number 2920, which seeks to amend Republic Act number 7309 or the Board of Claims under the Department of Justice. The bill seeks to increase the amount of compensation for victims of unjust imprisonment or detention and victims of violent crimes. Senator Ronald Bato de la Rosa urged the passage of Senate Bill number 2926, which seeks to increase the retirement age for officers and non-officers of the Philippine National Police. Senator Juan Miguel Mix F. Zubiri sponsored a measure extending the franchise area of Davao Light and Power Company Incorporated. Senator Robin Hood Padilla sought the passage of Senate Bill number 2819, which seeks to amend the National Commission on Muslim Filipinos Act of 2009, and House Bill number 8925, which aims to require the proper and immediate burial of Muslim cadavers under Islamic rites. A bill seeking to reset the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region and Muslim Mindanao elections is now up for plenary debates in the Senate, sponsored by Deputy Majority Leader Joseph Victor J.V. Ejercito. Senator Ronald Bato de la Rosa introduced in plenary Senate Bill number 2944, a measure seeking to amend Republic Act number 11696 or the Marawi Siege Victims Compensation Act. Senator Juan Miguel Mix F. Zubiri sponsored Senate Bill number 2895, which seeks to amend the provisions of the Freeport Area of Bataan Act. Zubiri said the amendments would foster a favorable environment for tech startups and digital nomads. Senator Christopher Lawrence Bongo pushed for the immediate passage of Senate Bill number 2928, which seeks to increase the bed capacity of the Philippine General Hospital and various local hospital bills. Senator Joseph Victor J.V. Ejercito sponsored a measure amending the charter of Bacoor City, Cavite. The bill seeks to merge and rename certain barangays in the city. Senate President Francis Cheese Escudero clarified misconceptions surrounding Senate Bill number 890 or the proposed rightsizing the National Government Act of 2022, particularly the concern of potential government employee layoffs once the proposal is enacted into law.
To clarify, Mr. President, this proposed bill does not seek to optimize or right-size, I'd rather use the word optimize, any specific government agency. What this bill does, Mr. President, Your Honor, is to outline the requirements before the President can do so, and to establish the guidelines and the direction and the policy and the declaration of policy as to what should be the aim and purpose. And that is not simply to downsize, but to be able to create needed and necessary positions that we need. given the changing times and given the changing demands of the times, Mr. President.
This week, the Senate adopted resolutions commending Sofronio Vasquez III for winning The Voice USA Season 26, Denise Zamboanga for her historic victory in the one interim women's atom-weight mixed martial arts, and the police and correction officers who were on duty during the New Year's shootout in Zamboanga City. The Bicameral Conference Committee approved the reconciled version of the bill reorganizing the National Economic and Development Authority into the Department of Economy, Planning and Development. Committee on Cultural Communities and Muslim Affairs Chairperson Robin Hood Padilla presided over the public hearing on Senate Bill number 2288, mandating the establishment of Muslim prayer rooms in all public offices and establishments. Senator Win Gatchalian, chairperson of the Committee on Ways and Means, cited the increase in electronic cigarette use and the unabated illicit trade in tobacco products as major setbacks to government's campaign. Deputy Majority Leader Joseph Victor J.V. Ejercito, Local Government Committee Chair, stressed the need for a balancing act between customs and the economy in declaring local holidays in the country. Senator Raffy Tulfo, Migrant Workers Committee Chairman, called for a ban on the deployment of Filipino workers to Kuwait unless the Kuwaiti government strengthens protections for OFWs. Senator Cynthia Villar led the public hearing on the bill establishing an aquaculture feed mill plant in Capiz to boost the production of local fish farmers.